And we did it 3 times as well, because it was so successful. But because of the fact that it was so unique and it seized people's imaginations, the aeroplane, wherever it's gone, was probably the most photographed aircraft in the world when we did it. CNN, ABC, Fox News, Sky News, everybody wanted to be on that aeroplane. And it was it was a crappy 757. People went, it's a jumbo jet, it's this, it's that. It was made in 1986. The airplane was nearly older than we were. But with a lick of paint, everybody went, yeah, it's fantastic. And then they were a little bit disappointed when they went into the toilets. They went, yes. Toilets. What are the toilets like? Well, they work. Kind of. But it did the job. It seized people's imaginations. And it's just a way of looking at things from a different direction. I call it the creative mosquito. And talking about creativity and how you come up with things. The reason I call it the creative mosquito is because usually you never see it when it bites you on the ass. You go on holiday somewhere and you wake up in the morning and there is just like a whole bomb strike of mosquito bites. You think, when did that happen? Didn't feel a thing. You missed it. It's gone. Switch the light out. You can hear it. It's in the room somewhere. Switch the light on. Where's it gone? But the creative mosquito is always there. It's always whizzing around in the air somewhere. And it goes back to observation. Somewhere in the room today, somewhere out there, outside, wandering around is a great idea. It just needs to be observed. Somebody just needs to listen and come up with gluing together some disparate ideas to come up with a synthesis of something goes, wow, that's a brilliant idea. I never thought of looking at something from that point of view. It's a bit like writing a song. I don't know if there's any musician. Any musicians here? You're a drummer. Are you a drummer?
No, guitar player.
Guitar player. Okay, you are a musician. Okay. I started out being a drummer. It's all right though. I can make drummer jokes as well. Yeah. When you write a song, if you've never written one, it's a bit of a mystery to people. How do you start? How do you start writing a song? And actually, the analogy between songwriting and coming up with business ideas and coming up with new things is really interesting. Because they say, well, what comes first? The words or the music? Or the tune, whatever. And I said, well, actually, it doesn't matter. What matters is what happens next. So let me explain. When we did a song I made, Run to the Hills, a successful song. The genesis of that song was me, as a student, sitting at home in my parents' house, watching old black and white TV. That's how long ago it was. And it was a musicologist on the BBC talking about the song My Way. As in Frank Sinatra, and now the end is near, whatever. One of the most popular songs at funerals, apparently. And his point was, this is one of the most successful songs in recording history. Why? And I went, yeah, why? Because I thought, hang on, I didn't read music, but I was a singer, and I was thinking, one of the most popular songs ever. Why was it so popular? Why did it work? I better listen to this. I might learn something. And he said, no, it's all in the rising sixth. And I went, oh, what's that then? And it's an interval. And the interval is just bum bum and now. That's 6 notes. Da 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 da. 6 notes. And that particular interval is a device which we as humans apparently really like. Because he then went on to demonstrate with all kinds of other different areas of music, classical music, jazz music, other songs. You go, look at this, and here it is again, and here it is again, the same device. And my way has loads of them. It goes, and now, the end is near, and so on things, the final curtain. Then it has a key change, and it does it all over again. My friends, and it said, so that was his opinion of why. Oh, is that true? I don't care. Because I went back to my guitar and started going, oh, let me have a look. No real, but it sparked off something. And what happened next? What happened next, eventually, was that we ended up writing a song called Run to the Hills. So what sparks off an idea doesn't matter. What tips the snowball rolling down the hill doesn't matter. It's when it becomes a great big snowball and an avalanche, that's what matters. So how do you do that? How do you do that? I went to see Airbus, and I was having dinner with one of the guys very high up in Airbus, and he said, you do all these crazy things like aircraft maintenance, and you've written films and books and stuff like that. He goes, we have a problem in Airbus. We keep trying to come up with ideas and crazy ways of doing things. I said, oh, okay. I said, but you've got lots of really clever people in Airbus. He went, yeah, they're super clever. They're very, very brainy. They're very good at what they do. I said, but you're trying to get them to think about the things that they don't do and glue those together. He goes, yeah. I said, well, how have you been doing it? He goes, well, we form committees to come up with ideas. I went, oh, the committees are the same people that didn't come up with ideas, so you put them all together. He went, yeah. I said, have they come up with any ideas? He went, no. So, if you want to build a cooker, hire a blind man. If you want to fix your nuclear reactor, poets are cheap. Ask a poet, why not? It's going to cost you $2 bob. It's going to cost you $2, Einstein, no system can fix itself using the same set of parameters that created it. And he also said one of my other favourite quotes, which is, imagination is greater than knowledge. It's absolutely right. Knowledge, everything stays the same. Everything stays the same. Imagination, vision, you can start to create. So, that's a little bit of just insight onto creativity and things like that. And trying to glue it all together, like Creative Mosquito and Jimmy. Oh, yeah, sorry, that's a business about to be eaten by a hungry shark. Oh, yeah, recently we got into brewing beer. That was terrible. That was hard. Because I had to go and actually invent the beer with the master brewer. And that took an awful lot of long nights drinking beer and coming up with the product, which we're very proud of. And it's actual fact, it's now the number 2 imported beer in Sweden. Number 1 is Newcastle Brown, so we're quite pleased with that. It's doing very well. But it's actually our revenge on all the people that wouldn't buy an Iron Maiden record, but they will buy a pint of beer. But it's enormous fun, and it's really, really good beer. I can't stress how really, really good the beer is. In fact, I went to my local pub, and I've been away in South America for touring with Maiden, and I got back Friday. I went to my local pub, and my mate Bernie, he's a script writer, and he did a lot of stuff. Very successful scriptwriter for TV, and he said, Trooper was in here the other week. I went, oh, fantastic! What's happening? Because it's run out. I went, oh, damn! So I was looking forward to having a pint of it. I said, how was it? He goes, oh, fantastic. He said, it's very drinkable. He said, after the first 7 pints, I was like 7 pints, Bernie. He goes, yes, it's very good. He said, but it hurt the next day. So I do that, and I do a bit of. That's my weird little aviation business, which I won't go into now, because that's a whole different. I'm not actually really making doing things with airplanes. What I'm actually doing is making sandwiches. If looking about business as a different way, sometimes it's quite fun to look at the business